Henrik Sedin, Team Sweden's captain, here on Hockey Central at noon with Darren Millard, along with Jeff Merrick and Gord Stellick. Were you surprised at how intense yesterday was right out of the gate?
Yes and no. I mean, we're used to playing a preseason game here in September, and those are usually going at half speed. And yesterday, we know going in playing Finland, and it's a big rivalry, but it was the pace was extremely high.
What did Leo Komarov do to the country of Sweden?
I mean, he's just one of those guys that tries to get under your skin. So no, he's fun to play games. He plays hard. He likes to chirp. So it was good.
I heard Erik Karlsson mention a few days ago. He felt that you can't equalize the Olympics in a lot of ways. This will be an excellent hockey exhibition. But after one game with a little bit of bite in a pre-tournament game, how are you comparing the Olympics to so far this taste of the World Cup?
Well, I think when this is over, it's going to be up there with the Olympics for sure. And I think playing in Toronto is a key to that, because it's played in Canada, it's played in one city, and you're not traveling around to different cities like we did in 2004. So I think it's going to be up there with the Olympics, absolutely.
Now, Henrik, you've played Nashville countless times. You faced Pekka Rinne countless times. But yesterday on the 3-on-3, when it seemed as if the rink was tilted and you guys were throwing everything at the Finnish netminder, what were you saying coming back to the bench after he made spectacular save after spectacular save?
Yeah, I know he was good. I mean, like you said, 3-on-3, we had a couple of grade A chances, and I've always ranked him as a top 3 goal in the league, and he was that good yesterday. Again, he's tough. I mean, he's a big key to Finland's success in this tournament, and he showed it last night.
He is a Vancouver Canuck and Team Sweden's captain. Henrik Sedin joins us on Hockey Central at noon, this World Cup edition, as Team Sweden falls to Finland yesterday in overtime. But when did you start to feel normal out there, or did you ever find that you were back with it in a pre-tournament game?
Yeah, I don't think halfway through the game it felt much better. The first period was like Daniel said after the game, I was ready to retire after the first period. It didn't feel good out there because the pace was high and everyone was just throwing pucks everywhere. It was a weird feeling. But after halfway through the game, the game started to slow down. You got more comfortable out there, so it felt a lot better going into the third and overtime.
From experiences, what can you say is the key in a tournament? I mean, you won a gold medal before. You had one, I think, 2002, a big win over Canada, but didn't win. What is the key in this kind of thing to try to peak at the right time or play your best hockey in a short tournament like this?
Yeah, it's not really about peaking either. It's just in a tournament like this. Usually in the Olympics, you can have 1 or 2 bad games and you can still move on. But I mean, going into Toronto here, you have to pretty much win 2 out of 3 in the round robin to move on. And so it's power play. It's power play, PK. You have to have great goaltending. If you can have that, you're going to have a good chance of winning. It doesn't matter how you're playing 5-on-5 or so I think those are the keys.
You know, one of the more interesting things about Team Sweden, the defense called the class of the blue line in this World Cup of hockey, and every single player you can make the argument singularly influenced by the play of Nick Lidstrom, whether it's Ekholm or Hedman or Chalmerson or Ekman. Everyone has been influenced by Nicklas Lidstrom. I've been, the past 12 months, banging the drum about Hampus Lindholm, who may be, maybe not the sexy name that Erik Karlsson is, but an outstanding defenseman. From your point of view, how good is Hampus Lindholm and how good can he be?
He's extremely good. I mean, I played against him in Anaheim, and same thing. If you don't see him on a daily basis, you might not appreciate him as much. But just being around him here, watching him in practice, the way he skates and moves the puck, it's fun to watch, and it's all the guys that are here now. I mean, you look at the guys that didn't make the tournament from our country. I mean, Alex Edler for us, Klingberg from Dallas. I mean, it's tough to not make it if you put up 55, 60 points in the NHL as a defenseman. So they're extremely good.
Henrik Sedin is chatting with us on Hockey Central at noon, Sportsnet 590 of the Fan, the NHL Network, and Sportsnet. Where do you put your team in this group of 8?
I think if you look at all the teams, Canada is, I would say, number one if you look on paper. And after that, I'll put ourselves with Russia and the States. I would say it's up there as well. But every team. I mean, I'll put it down the 23 as a dark horse as well.
Did you watch them last night?
I did not watch them. I heard some guys that watched the game and some highlights, and I've always said that they're going to be a surprise this tournament. So I think any team can win. That's like I said, if you get a hot power play going and your goalie plays well, it's any one of the 8 can win.
I know a lot of the young fans, especially like the young guns, the Team North America. Players like that idea, or do they like the old style when there were 8 countries?
I would say right now I'm excited. When they came out with the news, I was a little hesitant about the whole thing, but I'd rather have it this way, where all 8 teams can win. Like I said, in the Olympics, you can lose 1 or 2 games. You know you're gonna beat some of the lesser teams and move on anyways to a quarterfinal. This year, like right in this tournament, you have to be prepared for each and every game to win, and that's I like it better this way.
We've heard a lot of players say, we don't want to lose to a bunch of kids. Henrik, does Team North America scare you?
They are scared. I think their speed is gonna hurt you, a lot of teams, and they play as an underdog. I mean, they come in and there's no pressure for them, and so they're going to be scared to play. And if you put those the guys they have on that team on a power play, I mean they can score in bunches.
Alexander Ovechkin, before the pre-tournament game started, said that this could be his last World Cup. You and Daniel, any sentimental feelings in this tournament with where you guys are in your careers?
We'll see. We've gotten that question about 25 times already.
Really? I'm not the first one to ask you that?
No, you're not. And I'm gonna answer you the same way. We know. I mean, if you look at it, we know it might be our last tournament, but there's nothing we're going to come out and say that this will be our last tournament, because who knows? I mean, we're going to take it 1 year at a time now, and we got 2 more years over there on this deal, and then we'll see what happens with the Olympics moving forward or that kind of thing. So we will see what happens.
I was wondering, a guy like you that's had more successes than failures team-wise, that, you went to Game 7 1 year of the Stanley Cup final. You're used to being in the playoffs. A year when you're not, is it almost a little bit better, refreshing, mentally invigorating to get back and mentally get in an elite tournament like this after a disappointing season?
Yeah, I mean, you talk to the guys that went really deep in the playoffs. I mean, they've had a really short summer. So if you look at it that way, it was better maybe to get some time off and get a fresh look at it. But it's been tough. I mean, you don't want to miss the playoffs, and missing it 2 of the last 3 years, it's not fun. It's something we want to get back into. So I would rather made it last year in the playoffs to the playoffs and come back in this tournament. But for us, it might be good for this tournament to miss it last year.
Henrik, you and Daniel, no secret here, have been one of the best duos the game has ever seen. And there have been a number of players, their website's dedicated to the number of right wingers you've had. From your point of view, Henrik Sedin, what do you look for and what do you want in a right winger? What kind of right winger works with you and your brother?
Yeah, it's a tough question, because I know a lot of people think they need to be a big power forward who can go to the net, or it needs to be a right-handed shot, or it needs to be a speedy winger. But you look at the guys that's worked well with us, and Alex Burrows is he's not the speediest guy, or he's not overly big, but he's smart. He can read off us, and he can get into those open areas. And there's been a number of guys that are not the typical power forwards. So I would say just a smart player who can read off us and find those quiet areas on the ice to get into those scoring areas. So it's tough to really pinpoint 1 or 2 things.
We know this tournament is going to be played in its entirety in Toronto, but kind of cool that you get an opportunity in the back half of this home and home to play in front of your own fans.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great. I mean, the fans here, they rarely get to see us play back here. So it's going to be fun, especially for the guys that are from Gothenburg, with Henrik Lundqvist and Erik Karlsson being two of them. So it's going to be fun for especially for those two.
Thanks for doing this, and good luck in the tournament. We'll see you when you get to town.
Thanks, guys.